You can study English for years, but if you don't understand how emotional intelligence affects your language, your English will never feel natural. In this video, I'm going to show you how emotional intelligence, not necessarily vocabulary, is the real key to fluency, confidence, and connection. My name is Devin Bruce. I'm the founder and CEO of the English Communication Academy. We help non-native English speakers in healthcare communicate effectively with their patients, colleagues, and staff. And this video is for people in healthcare who know English, they're fluent, even extremely fluent, but your English still feels awkward. It doesn't sound like you. It doesn't feel like you. You may also come across overly polite, and you're also unsure of maybe how you're coming across. In this video, I'm going to share 3 tips to have emotional intelligence when you're speaking that will boost your English skills instantly, especially in high pressure situations. And if you stay until the end of this video, I'll share a bonus tip that you'll never find in a textbook. So this first tip, let's just talk about why emotional intelligence is language power, because that's something that's usually not discussed. What emotional intelligence is, it's just understanding your emotions and how they affect others. Language is so much more than just the words, especially in English because we use our voice for clarity. It's about tone, it's about timing, and it's most importantly about trust. When you are self-aware, your English becomes so much more natural. For example, let's say you're nervous, you're about to give a big medical presentation, and you're anxious. Well, what happens when you're anxious? You start speaking too fast, you start saying ums and uhs. You might blank out. You might have physical reactions. You might sweat. You might over explain. That anxiousness is a part of emotional intelligence because you're anxious about what you're about to say. The emotion is affecting how you may speak. All right, moving on to the second tip. Let's recognize your emotional triggers. Common triggers for many people in healthcare include the fear of sounding stupid, really worrying about your accent. You have a fear of being judged, imposter syndrome as well. All of these things affect your emotions. It affects how you pause, how you pronounce things, how you show up, how you express ideas. So a good way to overcome this is just to simply name the emotion before you speak. For example, you could say, I feel nervous, but I can still be clear. Yes, I'm anxious, but I can also be confident. When you identify what it is, it just takes away a large part of the power. For example, we have someone in the academy and she gives a lot of medical presentations. And when she switched over from her native language to English, she really struggled with confidence. But when she would identify her anxiousness first and gave it a voice, it helped her calm down because it took away the power in her brain. She was able to get it out of herself. And when you are able to just get the emotion out of yourself, it takes the power away. So next time, try that when you are feeling like you're feeling triggered about something. This next tip is something that I love. Let's talk about mastering the art of emotional tuning. Emotional tuning just means reading the room, reading the energy in the room, I should say. For example, let's say you walk into a room and you can just feel the tension. You may not know why it's tense, but you know it's tense. And you might be going in being like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready. You might be ready to crack a bunch of jokes. But knowing the energy in the room, that will help you with shifting your tone if you need to. It can help you slow down if you need to. It can also simplify your message as well, because if you're in a tense room, they might not be able to hear you as well as you may think. So just knowing that information may help you simplify your message even more. And in healthcare, this immediately builds trust and connection because you're reading the room properly. And so you're adjusting how you show up. Another good tip, if people are speaking before you, like if you walk in the room and it's really tense, listen to the tone before you respond. That gives you a lot more control over what you're trying to say. Another tip for emotional intelligence is to use emotionally smart phrases. So instead of apologizing or over explaining things, try confident language. For example, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or "I apologize," you can just simply say, "Let me rephrase that." Or, "What I meant to say was," you can also say something like, "I appreciate your patience. Here's what I'd like to clarify." These show self awareness and confidence. You're not lowering yourself, you're not dimming yourself by over explaining and apologizing for things. It's okay if you mess up, it's okay if you need to redirect, as long as you know that you're in control and you're in command and not having to apologize for every little thing. Simply saying one of these phrases, "Let me rephrase that," or "What I meant to say was," or "I really appreciate your patience on this. Here's what I'd like to clarify." That just shows that you're so confident in what you're saying, even when you mess up. And it also shows that you're self aware. Here's the bonus tip for you: fluency is a feeling. I'll say that again. Fluency, it's a feeling. Emotional intelligence helps you feel fluent, not just sound fluent. And I say that because confidence doesn't come from speaking perfectly. It comes from being in control of your energy. I can actually attest to this because I'm learning Arabic. I'm not fluent yet, but I'm getting there. And recently I was in my class with my teacher and I was reading a story and I didn't fully understand every single word, but I understood the overall gist of the story. Oh my goodness, that made me feel so amazing that I was able to read the story and understand that. And because I felt so good and my ability to speak Arabic, the rest of the time I was in my class, I was on cloud nine and I was knocking it out because I felt so good in my fluency. Because fluency is a feeling, it's not about perfection. So, circling this back around to English, you're not just learning English, you're learning how to lead in it. All right, so if this video helped you, please like and subscribe. Also, share this with other non native English speakers in healthcare. I am on a mission to close the language gap in healthcare. It is fundamentally important to me. Also, if you feel like you need more help, I do have a free 5-day Frustrated to Fluent challenge that helps anyone in healthcare who just want to level up their English in a very short period of time. And if you're interested in taking our free challenge, the link is in the description box below. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Take care.